Inter 1, Arsenal 0. I thought I'd do just a different sort of video today. It's the day after the match and just a quick sort of walk around the San Siro. A little bit of post-match thoughts, post-match reaction, and kind of just a review and a breakdown of how the trip was for anyone who's maybe thinking of or has been to the San Siro before. Just kind of compare ideas and compare experiences, really. So let's have a quick walk around, and I guess I'll just talk as I walk. So San Siro Stadium, it's 80,000 capacity. I think at the game last night it was 75,000 in attendance, so huge turnout for Arsenal Inter. I guess I'll start with stadium itself. Obviously, it's 98 years old. It's one of the oldest stadiums I know of this stature. Anyway, we've got some obviously old ones, especially in England, some really, really old ones with a lot of character. I say this doesn't have much character, to be honest. It's been refurbished several times since it was built. And I think something that really takes away from it, because it's a shared stadium, there's no like branding on the outside of it. If you weren't a football fan, you weren't Italian, you just got dropped here, you wouldn't have a clue what that is. You'd think, I don't know, is it a massive car park? You just wouldn't have a clue. Obviously there's no colours on it because it's shared with two rival clubs, AC Milan and Inter. So it's just plain and neutral, and even the inside, it's all just concreted, and you know, any branding is just kind of temporary flags just for the match day, which they take down afterwards and then stick up the other team the next day. It just looks a bit boring. It would be nice to kind of, I don't know, even have some sort of, I don't know, screen on the outside, maybe displays the team that day. I don't know. I was really excited to come here, and I say I was let down by the experience, to be honest. Right now where we are is in the car park, one of the car parks. The away car park is just beyond that white barrier, which is where we were eventually led out to yesterday after the game. Getting in was absolutely horrendous. It was terrible. Gate 10, you probably can't see anything, but it's just beyond that lamppost there. All the away fans were in that section yesterday in gate 10, entrance 10, and we were told that we had to kind of queue up starting from the car park to get let in, and they were opening the gate in stages, whereas some of us didn't come through the car park. Some of us just came to the stadium like normal match day fans. It's like they had no plan for that. So we had to walk, must have been about 3 miles from the station. All the others were closed. So after a 3-mile walk, which took about half an hour, maybe slightly more, police escort, a police helicopter and everything, finally got here, got to gate 10, which we eventually figured out because the tickets are written in Italian. Which I understand is a thing that UEFA do, is not just this club, but it's really annoying because I don't speak a word of Italian, nor can I read it. So if there's any important information on that ticket, I wouldn't have a clue. But obviously coming here, luckily I left 2 hours before kickoff from the town centre. I thought I was a bit early, but after the half an hour walk to get here, that ate up all the kind of time I had to then arrive and be told we had to leave through one of these gates here, re-enter through this gate here, to then queue up through the car park to get back into gate 10, which I just thought was so strange. It was really, really puzzling because my ticket says gate 10. I expected to go through that gate there at gate 10 and go into the turnstiles, but no. What happened was there were Inter fans coming from these gates here, 11, 12, 13, 14, who were supposed to get to gate 9, 8, 7, 6, who thought rather than walk all the way around, we're just going to go through here, which makes 100% logical sense, right? Why would you walk all the way around the stadium where your gate's only 2 doors down that way? So I will show you what happened. right here, we see gates 11 and 12. This whole area here was closed off. There were barriers and there was a gate in the middle. So us Arsenal fans were trying to get into that sort of green area there. We were told, no, you have to come out of here, walk all the way around here. Remember, this area is all fenced off. We had to walk all the way around here, through this yellow gate here, to then come through this yellow gate here and go into there. Now, by the time people understood what we were being told to do, there was more and more people sort of gathering in that area. Bearing in mind, it's 45 minutes to kick off. So this went on for probably about 15 minutes until 8:30, when they gave up and finally opened the gates to let us in. There's all the barriers they used to block this all off. So we were supposed to come from here, through this gate. See the car park beyond? We had to come through this gate to go into there. We couldn't walk from this side or from that side and go in there. It was crowded with Inter fans trying to get from here to there and there to here. We couldn't leave. We couldn't go anywhere. I've got some videos. I'll show them just so you can see what I'm on about. But we finally got through there to the turnstiles. It was half an hour to kick off. They hadn't bothered to do any ID checks. They're supposed to check your passport against the name on a ticket. They hadn't bothered that, and they hadn't even bothered to search us. I wasn't searched going into the stadium. Could have bought anything. It was only when I sat down in my seat and I thought, fancy a beer or something. I thought, do you know what? I could have just brought one in, couldn't I? Because they haven't searched us at all. But this is the away entrance, and my God, it ruined the whole experience getting in, to be honest. But even worse, getting out. So the stadium itself is really confusing. It's you've got to go up these curly whirlies, which I know that Etihad think is a good idea and they've installed them, but got to go up the curly whirlies all the way to the top. The away fans are sat as high as possible, so you're at the game. It's probably the furthest back from the pitch I've ever had to sit as an away fan. People talk about Newcastle and the stairs to Newcastle. This is not stairs, it's just a never-ending slope, and you don't know how many more flights you've got. At least at Newcastle, they tell you how many steps there are before you start, so you kind of mentally prepare for it. But this, you are just walking and walking and walking, and it kind of looks like the different entrances, like you might come out here, you might come out here. Nope, you have to go all the way to the top, the very top here, and find your seat way up in the gods. So the view wasn't very good. The experience getting in wasn't very good. Security weren't helpful, they weren't friendly. When we were inside the ground, obviously I wanted a drink, so I feel like walking from the station, obviously 3 miles, and half an hour to get in, and then the walk up. We got there maybe 15 minutes before kickoff. There was nobody in their seats yet. It was still empty because everyone was probably still out here trying to get in. Finally got up there anyway, and the refreshment area was closed. The one right here that I'm pointing at, which was close to my seat, was closed. We were told to walk all the way around to the other side. Bearing in mind there's 4,000 of us. It was one tier. We had to walk all the way to the other one, which was crowded and busy. So didn't bother with any refreshments for the whole game. Game finished now. We got held in for an hour, which was unreasonable. The game finished at 11 o'clock, which is already quite late. Italian time that is. They held us until probably 11:45 in our seats. Pitch was empty. We were just watching the guy cut the grass. When we finally got out of our seats, they let us walk down these curly whirlies again, and then held us at the bottom of that for a further 15 minutes. We were only let out here at 4 minutes past midnight. 4 minutes past midnight, we were let out through this big gate here. We were all walked straight through here. There was security either side, so we couldn't go any other direction. We had to walk straight down here, through this, and into the car park, and go out that way. It was ridiculous. So now you've got 4,000 fans walking through here, out into this massive big car park here, from there, they were kind of forcing everyone down into the station together. It was just like herding cattle. They didn't treat us like humans at all. It was like, you English lot, get out here into this big space. They luckily had 3 toilets for us, which was kind of them. But everyone was, because we were held so long, everyone was just kind of weeing all here, all along there. It was just people weeing. And I guess those were people shitting. But yeah, we were all in here and just rammed and wasn't pleasant. So I had to walk all the way to the other side of this car park to get out onto the street to go about our days. Probably at that time it was about 12:15 at night. We were all tired, we were all fed up, we were all exhausted, hungry, thirsty, all needed a toilet. But yeah, it was not a great experience at all. Sometimes you treat people like that and you wonder why they behave certain ways. Like, nobody wants to be weeing all up against the car park. I'm talking like 10, 15, 20 people at a time, just weeing in, just a line there. And it was horrible experience. Anyone thinking about coming to San Siro, don't bother. Sometimes with old stadiums like this, you think there's character. There's no character to this. Yeah, I can understand completely why they want to knock it down and start again. I wouldn't spend a penny refurbing this. It is a waste of time and a waste of money. What I'd say, Italy in general as a whole, I've heard some negative stories before coming here, especially about the north of Italy. I didn't see any of it. I was really, really surprised. Everybody I interacted with was pleasant. I didn't have any bad experiences, and I've been here, it's my 3rd day. I loved it. Of course I was a bit weary. I wore neutral colours pretty much the whole time besides the game, which maybe made a difference, but no, I'd definitely come back to Italy. I didn't know what to expect, but I always like to sort of come here before I make a decision. And obviously I did Atlanta, which is maybe 2 hours away from here, Bergamo, which again I didn't have any issues there. So I kind of knew Milan, because I flew into Milan airport before, so I knew my way sort of around. But yeah, really impressed with the city and the people. I would definitely recommend a trip to Milan. Maybe not to watch the football, but I guess if you sit in the home end, you'll be alright. It'll be a better experience. You won't get treated like cattle or like the enemy. I just thought the amount of time they held us in afterwards was unreasonable, and the chaos to get into the stadium as well, just really wasn't pleasant and kind of ruined the whole experience. Other than that, the trip itself was fine. It was good. Maybe on another day, security will be a bit more organised, because that really can make or break a trip sometimes. And when you do think about it, they're there for a reason, and safety is a top priority. And you can't have thousands of people pushing and crowding to get in. As soon as those gates opened, when there were about 500 of us in there, you couldn't move anywhere. It was you're just going with the crowd was taking you with them. And I eventually ended up through the gate without walking there, just kind of like, just was pushed in there. I found myself in there and scanned my ticket and went in. But you can imagine, thank God all the time I'm young, fit and healthy, but some people, that could be a really, really dangerous and unpleasant experience. I think of young children and sort of elderly, if you've got any injuries. I've seen people on crutches at the game, I don't know how they got up there. I think there is a lift somewhere, but again, I can't imagine you would have made it for kickoff with all the chaos that happened outside. But yeah, I'll give the San Siro 2 out of 5 for the overall experience. But yeah, Italy, I'd give a solid 4. I'd definitely come back. I'll maybe try somewhere other than Milan. Nearby Lake Como is supposed to be really, really nice, so maybe take a trip there via Milan. But yeah, all in all, good trip. Shame about the result and a shame about the San Siro, but if they ever do refurb this or rebuild it or whatever, I will definitely take a trip back here. But for now, as it is, I've been here, I've seen it, I've done it. I think I'm good on that one.